Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of Maize and Blue Review. Um, there's no Michigan game today, but there's some news and notes I wanted to go over in this first week of postseason action, and there's been quite a bit. Um, to start off with, Michigan fired their, I don't know, fired or just let go, whatever you want to call it, their offensive coordinator, Kirk Campbell. Um, and without hesitation, immediately they replaced him with an offensive coordinator named Chip Lindsey. He was an offensive coordinator at the University of North Carolina. Who they're going through a lot of changes. They fired their head coach Mac Brown, and recently they just recently hired Bill Belichick, which is crazy. But as far as Chip Lindsey goes, I don't know much about him. I know North Carolina, they said that they had the 35th ranked offense in college football, and Michigan's offense was ranked like in the hundreds. So it can't get any worse than what it was. From what I understand, he's a coordinator who likes to mix it up. He doesn't favor the run or the pass. He likes to be well balanced, which is perfect for me. I think that's the way to go. Uh, Michigan was just all runs. But they had to run because they couldn't pass. So at the end of the day, it's all about the talent. And with Bryce Underwood coming in and Jaden Davis kind of being developed, I think the passing game is going to get a lot better next year. Depends on if some of the receivers we get will produce. Also, speaking of receivers, or I guess in this case tight ends, Colston Loveland is entering the NFL draft as expected, and so is Will Johnson. Though you could make the argument Will Johnson already committed to the NFL draft like a few months in when he just stopped playing with a mysterious toe injury. I mean, he was a great defensive back, so I can't really fault him for making a career decision. But it's a little sour taste. But we'll see. Maybe it was a legit injury. I don't know, but um, I wish them all the best of luck. Alex Orji went to the transfer portal, which I kind of saw that coming. A lot of players are going to the transfer portal. I need a phone stand. Um, Let me think. But yeah, Chip Lindsey, coming in as offensive coordinator. I'm a little curious to see how it goes with the new talent coming in and see if he can develop them. And what I like about the hire is it's right off the bat. We're going right into it, and it's early, and we get to see what he can do on December 31st when Michigan plays Alabama in the bowl game. And I think this bowl game, I think both teams are just going to treat this as like an early spring game for next year, as far instead of like just a bowl game. But I don't know. I can't speak for Alabama. They might just want vengeance. But I think that's kind of what the route Michigan's going. So we'll see how it goes. Speaking of next year, they just released the 2025 schedule, and I'm just going to show it to you right here on my TV. This is on a YouTube channel. I don't know who they are, but I just wanted to use them as a show the schedule. Let's see, who is this? Blue by 90. Shout out to them for providing this schedule. They start off on August 30th, home against New Mexico, which should be an easy win. But then on the road at Oklahoma, which is kind of a surprising. Like, I know last year they hosted a game against Texas. Now at Oklahoma. Oklahoma's a little bit easier than Texas, but the fact that it's on the road might make it a little bit more difficult. But that should be a fascinating game. Then they return home against Central Michigan, the Chippewas, and then they begin Big Ten action at Nebraska. And then they get a bye. Then home against Wisconsin. Wisconsin's not as tough as they used to be, but you never know. Things change pretty quick in the Big Ten. Then they're on the road at USC. Then home against Washington. Then at Michigan State. Then home against Purdue. Then a second bye. Then 2 road trips in a row at Northwestern. Then at Maryland. And then, of course, they wrap it up at home against Ohio State. The thing I noticed about the schedule, for the first time in a long time I can remember, Michigan does not have back-to-back home games. Everything's kind of spread out. I mean, one could argue Michigan State is kind of a home game for Michigan, but in all seriousness, yeah, it's kind of an interesting schedule travel-wise, but and I think it's a little bit easier than this year, last year. I mean, Michigan had some killer games against Texas, against, they beat Ohio State, but then they also had to play Oregon. So there's no Oregon in the schedule this year, upcoming year. So that provides relief. It's a little bit easier schedule, and with the talent coming up, they might have a better record next year than 7-5, but we'll see. But that there's the schedule for next season. And I guess that'll be it for this video. Not much to talk about. I just felt like, there was a bit to talk about, but with no games going on, and I really wasn't sure what to do. So, with all this news coming out, and I figured it would be a good idea to make a video just to update on what's going on. There was a lot since the win over Ohio State, so. But that'll do it for me. I'll have my next video will be tomorrow. I'll be at Ford Field for the Lions Buffalo Bills game. I'm looking forward to that one. I think that's a Super Bowl preview. So I hope you guys get to watch that because it's going to be a fun one. It's on at 4:25 on CBS, I think. CBS. But that'll do it for me for now. Until then, go Blue, go Lions, go Pistons, go Tigers, and go Red Wings. And I'll see you later.